It's quite interesting that John Anthony Castro, who had sued Donald Trump for violating Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, was arrested and convicted on federal tax charges, which upended his campaign and his career and his lawsuits. They threw him in jail with a January 6th. And you know who was his prison mate? A January 6th attacker. And John Castro believed that they were trying to get this January 6th attacker to kill him. He felt as though he would have been killed in prison. Here it is that John Anthony Castro, who was suing Donald Trump for inciting an insurrection on January 6th, was thrown in prison, and they put him in prison with a January 6th attacker. January 6th attacker. And why would and when you hear this, you know that something is afoot. And according and John Castro believes that they were trying to get rid of him. But he said that he and this guy became good friends. They became very good friends. When he heard his story, they became very good friends. Now, Donald Trump has since pardoned this attacker. He has since pardoned this attacker. And I can't remember. I think I got the name of this January 6th. He pardoned this attacker. So, and I asked, any chance that he's going to be pardoned? I asked him, any chance he's going to be pardoned?
What was his answer?
He told me the name, Jeffrey McKellop. John Anthony Castro reports that he was put in jail with a January 6th attacker, Jeffrey McKellop. However, he believed that he would have been killed. However, he became friends with this guy. And then, of course, Donald Trump recently pardoned him. Any chance that he's going to be pardoned by Donald Trump? I'm not sure. But we are praying and hoping that God has a way of making the impossible possible. Yes? And the possible impossible. And God is more than with that we can ever ask for or imagine. He can turn the tides. And he can move upon Donald Trump's heart. The very same person that he had went after. The very same person that he assumed for violating Section 683 of the 14th Amendment and he was running against in his own party can be the very same person that helped him. But we're gonna release a story. We're gonna release a story about him. We did release a story actually about John Anthony Castro. It's available, but we're gonna talk about it on the podcast. We're gonna be a little bit different. We're gonna take a different approach on the podcast. But he believes that he was blindsided. He was found guilty on all accounts. And he's saying that he believes he was blindsided. He said that Linda Rivera committed tax fraud. He said that there was a private investigation into Linda Rivera and that she was lying. She was married, yet she wrote on her tax preparation that they did for her that she was single, but that her husband had 5 kids, and she knew it. She knew it, but she filed. But she knew that if she had filed jointly, then the fact that her husband having 5 kids would have come up. So she put that she filed separately. She filed separately, and the government was aware of that, and he was not aware. But his case is quite interesting. He talks about it. We're going to talk about it later. This is not the time for that. But this is just an excerpt. I wanted to share a quick insight as to what's going on. With John Anthony Castro, we are publishing an ebook. It's going to be available. We published a story in the Neoliberal journals called, John Anthony Castro Files lawsuit, or motion to strike. He sued Trump. We're talking about the John Anthony Castro, who has been on the show with us. He did the Castro v. Trump series. He was running for president. Um, for those of us who don't know what's going on with him, he's currently serving time in federal prison, guilty on all charges. I think over 15 years, but he's fighting vehemently. He believes he was blindsided. He said he was rigged from the very start. In fact, this is what we have said. He sued Trump. Now he's in prison. The Castro case uncovered. We'll discuss coming up on the podcast, along with many more. By the way, have you heard about what's going on with P. Diddy and Cassie Ventura? She's supposed to be speaking today. She will continue her testimony today. I don't believe hopefully she can help the prosecution case.
She is supposed to
But
speak today.
as far as I'm concerned, there's no, as it relates to racketeering and sex trafficking.
Well, I hope that she's able to